Blast here after like 4 weeks. I mean a month. So yeah, today we're doing an OPBR tier list where I'm gonna rank characters, so don't judge me if it's wrong. Actually do judge me, tell me down in the comments below what you guys think of this tier list. And if you leave a rude comment, your comment will be deleted. So with that in mind, let's continue. So keep in mind that this tier list does not have all of the characters, it just has some of them. So first off, we have Timescript Brook. That's an easy C. Thing is, he's only good for the metal, but he's not as bad as like all the worst units. So Chopper goes in D because he's probably the worst Timescript unit. Well, maybe. So Frankie will probably come behind Brook in C, I think, because he's not that great for the metal, but as a Timeskip unit, Timeskip Straw unit, he's not the worst. So to your Timeskip Brook will go in B, because he's not that bad. Obviously Timeskip Nami will go in D because she's terrible. So Timeskip Sanji is more fun to play, but he's not that great. Compared to the other 2-year Timeskip units, he's way better, but still he's not very good for the metal, and I'm mainly taking that into consideration. So Usopp is garbage, like really terrible, but not as bad as Nami, so a little bit ahead. So Zoro is just probably a little better than Sanji because of the fixed damage. Then there's Luffy, who's actually not bad for a D unit, better than Usopp, Chopper, and Nami, their Timeskip units. So this Ace will probably be ahead because I like his normal attacks. And over here we have the first S class unit, I think. S. Okay. So Ace is really good. He's got the counter, which is very helpful. He's got good capture speed, and he's a fun unit to play. Other Ace comes in C because he's not that great. This Luffy will come in C as well because he's not that great, but I'd say he's slightly better than 2-year Timeskip Frankie. Then this Robin will come at the bottom because she's trash. Now, all 3 stars are going to be at the end of the list, but I'll rank them in their order accordingly for like 3 stars. Now, Amaru and Eru would probably have to be S as well, but a little bit ahead of Ace, because his shock status effect is really damn helpful, and he's got a good amount of defense. So Scratchman and Apu, pretty garbage, just a little ahead of Brook. Arlong, terrible. Then there's this Arm Point Chopper. I'm thinking D as well, so maybe a little ahead of Timeskip Chopper. Then we've got Blue Sabo, an interesting one. I'd say he's probably better than Robin, so we're gonna put him ahead of them. Then Bartolomeo, same thing. Little behind Luffy, but not C class because I don't think he's that bad. His counter is just right. Now X Drake is definitely A, but not S yet because his ignore defense is pretty damn helpful. So Beach comes over here because I don't think he's as good as Zoro. Same thing with Bellamy, and Big Mom is a pretty solid defender, so she's gonna have to go in S. I don't think she's like SS material, but S definitely. Then this Boa is pretty damn garbage, so she comes in C. This Nami isn't too bad, so she comes in B. Ooh, our first EX. So I was sort of conflicted about this decision because I didn't know whether to put him in SS or S, but I decided S because he's become so predictable it's ridiculous. All he'll do is use his skill 1, then come close to you and use skill 2. So this Boa pretty garbage, but he's still better than most units. I mean, he's better than Amaru, Big Mom, and it's just a shame how predictable he's become. Now the other Boa is actually really good. She's got really good heals, tons of damage, and she's amazing. Now this Bonkler is pretty bad, so probably C, not D level, I don't think. Now I forget her name. Jewelry Bonnie, yeah, it's not that great, so we'll put her there. Kizaru goes over there. Now Bound Man would probably have to go in B, I'd say, because he's not that bad a C, but he's just an older unit who doesn't work really well. So Buggy is actually heavily underestimated, and he's pretty damn good. I want to place him in A, but I think he has to put in a little work to get there. So now Douglas Bullet will definitely be A. He is really good. He's got a quick, a good amount of heal. So actually Carrot is really underestimated. She's really good as a runner. She can use her shock, which heavily benefits her because she gets that speed boost, which is really good. So she goes in B. So Cavendish is pretty garbage, and especially since it's stunned, which Roger is so cancer against. So C's are probably not as good as Bullet, but still a very solid defender with good heals. Now Chopper Mon, debatably the strongest 3-star unit. No, not debatably, he is the strongest 3-star unit with insane heals that can get him up to full recovery HP and decent damage output. So that Chopper goes in B. This Frankie is probably not as bad as Beach, but definitely not as good as Zoro, so it goes there. This Robin would probably have to be the lower C, yeah. Like maybe a little bit ahead of Scratch Manapoo. So now Corazon comes over to B because he's pretty underestimated as well. His skill Silent is really helpful. Now CPO Lucci is our first SS unit. This man is pretty damn good. The 80k boost works so well against like Rogers and everything. He's got Nullify Stagger when he's above 80% of HP. He's also got the increased damage because he's strong to green units, and overall just a really good counter. He deals such high damage. Now this Lucci is old, and although I do like his crit thing, he's just not that great in my opinion nowadays. So now there's this Crocodile. Pretty bad, I'd say bottom ranks of C maybe. Or you know, we'll give him a spot above Scratch Manapoo. Now this Crocodile is pretty much the same actually. So I'm gonna put him over there. Now this Crocodile is actually decent. I'm pretty sure this Crocodile deserves to go to A. He's really good as a runner. He's got decent heals. Now Doflamingo is also A. He's got an insane capture speed, pretty damn good medals if paired up with Law, and overall he's got a really helpful skill one. Now Ashura Doji is an interesting one. I'm gonna have to place him at B because I don't think he's A material, but he's no way C material. He's pretty damn good, but I don't see him being better than Carrot. So Perona is an interesting one. She's got a really helpful status effect, and I think I'm gonna have to place her above Carrot because she's really that good. And we've got Dressrosa Law, one of my favorite units which I play on my main. Probably gonna have to come in S, I think. Maybe above Big Mom or before? Probably before. Yeah. Now our second SS unit. This is Dressrosa Zoro. He does so much damage. His crit works so well, and he just has insane heals. He's the ultimate EX counter. He is amazing. I highly suggest getting him to level 80 because he can shred units. Okay. So our second EX unit probably would go in S because, like I said before, it's way too predictable. She'll use her skill 1, shock you, then go for skill 2, and then she'll go capture treasures. So not too much to fight against. So yeah. Alright, so up next we have Shankser, and this man is probably the most predictable of the EXs. I don't know if it's just because we've had him along for so long, or it's because his skill 2 is so slow, or his counter is just begging to be hit. He's just too predictable and too easy to fight against, but he's still pretty damn good if you ignore his predictable skills. Now Whitebeard would come in B because his skills are slow, normal attacks are meh. Then we've got Ivankov. She'll probably come in B. She's a really good runner, but I don't think it's A. And keep in mind that this is all my opinion. If you don't like it, you can click off the video. Please don't. Actually, you can if you want, but make sure to hit the subscribe button. Then Eneru will come in C because he's just such an old unit. And our first SSSS, that's 3 S's everybody, I said 4 but whatever, unit, Robin. Even at level 60, she has 100% damage reduction. That is absurd, not to mention she's red. She is just so goddamn powerful. Now Fujitara is pretty damn strong with his Ignore Death Meteor and his skill 1 which will throw enemies back. But pretty damn helpful. Now Smoker isn't bad, but I don't think he's like A class stuff, so he'd probably be B, so we're putting him in front of the Luffy. Now Gaimon is actually a really helpful 3-star, but not as helpful as Wano Chopper, I'd say. He's got that really good delaying skill, and he's just such a troll. It's amazing. Now Tashivi is pretty garbage. The only good thing is being a runner, and I don't like that way too much. So Garb isn't as good as Suru, but not the worst 3-star. And then we have General Frankie Frankie, who is easily A. So we will put him at top of A. I don't know if he's S yet, but he's definitely at the top of A. His heals are really good. He does fat damage with skill 1. And over here, I was considering putting him in SS, but I didn't know what I should have done. This man is broken with his normal attacks and increased damage to clean. It's absolutely insane. So Hawkins is probably the worst of the 3-stars if Bellamy wasn't there. Then we've got this girl, who is the admin one? No, HIIII, right, HIIII. So she's pretty bad, but not like the worst, so we can see. Then Kuzan, actually very interesting with ice, really helps him. I'd say it's easy A, probably better than Doflamingo. I don't know about better than Caesar. So yeah, I accidentally moved Fujitoa, so we moved back. But this has been failing to move characters, and there we go. Now Inuarashi is very Inuarashi is really good because he's got that 80k increase. But he's more of a supporting unit, so I don't think he goes in A. He's like the unit which allows you to buff up other units to make them better. He's absolutely OP on Roger. And okay, I messed up something clearly. I put Jinbei in D and I put Scatternapu in D as well. So Jinbei would probably be the bottom B because he's really slow, terrible normal attacks, pretty bad traits. Now we've got Kaku, who I'd say is slightly worse than YEEEEET because his skill relies on stun. He's not that great. Oh, and okay, here we've got Kaido, who is ridiculous when he's in his drunken state. So much increased damage, but you've got to watch out for real Luffy and defenders. Okay, now Karakuri is easily SS level. Like, this man is insane. The damage reduction he gets, the heals he gets, he's just so powerful. But I just don't see him in SSS. That's like game-breaking stuff. He's ridiculous to fight against, but not so ridiculous that a level like 10 would be able to fight off a level 60 or something. I think I'm exaggerating a bit, but you get the idea. So Kawamatsu is B. His reduced status effects by 80% is pretty helpful, but other than that, he's not too great. He's got not that much heals. He's got good cooldown. So. And Kaya, she's at the bottom, below all the 3-stars. I don't care what you say. So Okiku is actually pretty damn good. I'd have to put her in front of X-Grid because she's really good in the last minute. She's a clutch warrior. Now Kinemon is definitely A unit stuff, A level stuff. So I'm gonna put him ahead of Caesar. Or no, a little behind Caesar actually. Now Koala, she'd probably be A. She's got decent heals. Her skills aren't too slow. In the long range, they have knockback. Ooh, okay, so we've got our 4th EX. Oh, then Nitoru. Not SS yet, but not SSS, but he's at the top of SS without a doubt. He is pretty damn OP against defenders, leaving them with only he takes away 50% of damage reduction from all defenders, which is a madness at level 80. It's insane, and his skills are just so fast and fixed on. Pretty damn helpful, this guy is. Ooh, so Bartholomew Kuma. So he's got really good heals, but he's just an older unit, and his projectile attacks are pretty terrible, if I have to say so. I messed up with Aokiji, so I'm gonna put him back, and he's not C level, but there's no way he's A level, so we're gonna put him B. So we've got your boy Sneaky Kyoshiro. He's probably B as well, top B because I like his skills. He'll do his skill 1, I think, does really high damage. Now Luffy, a very interesting unit. Probably SS because that stop heal is so powerful and the range of that skill 2 is ridiculous. It's absurd. So now we've got this Luffy. He's not that great because it's like you hit your opponent for the skill 1 and then you run away, and he doesn't have like a good capture speed or anything. So I don't think he's a very good choice. Maybe just a bit ahead of Lucci's. Normal attacks are terrible as well. So now we've got Red Sabo, who's just really good, easily S level, because his Meta state stops all flame, stop all status effects, and he's just that powerful. And he does so much damage with the burn. And Luffy Taro is probably A level, I'd say, like lower ranks of A, because he's really good against defenders. But now since he's green, I don't really see him. So Arco is an interesting one. He's blue, but oh wait, I said Wano Luffy was green. I meant blue. So Arco is interesting because he's blue and he's really good, and he's got a heal, which is nice. And so now we've got Marco. Marco is probably B level. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention Magellan is also B level. Top of Beetle, really powerful status effect, poisonous. So I'm gonna have to put Drake and Mihawk in front of Boa because he's just that powerful against attackers. So this Drake and Mihawk was in C, no surprise. So this Chopper is probably A level. No, S actually, because he's really good against defenders. Nah, A. Probably at the top of A. So because he's really good against defenders, but there's like a certain type of unit for each thing which can absolutely demolish him. And if it's like any runner or attacker, Chopper is gonna have a lot of trouble. So this Gekomoniac comes in B. Now this Gekomoniac comes in B, then this one will have to come in C or like complete bottom of B, because he's pretty damn bad. So we're gonna continue. Now we've got Inuarashi. Pretty good, not that great. He's like a watered down version of Snake Man. So this is the old kid, an interesting unit, but probably lower B, because his normal attacks are so garbage, and that sniping skill isn't honestly that good in. And he doesn't have any damage reduction, he's only got his buffs. So Killer as a 3-star unit isn't the best, but certainly not the worst, just a little below Frankie. Now we've got Nightmare Luffy, a pretty old unit, but I'm gonna say he's like just in front of Boundman barely so. Now we've got Onami. She's also pretty bad, but as a runner, she serves a side elf with a 50% cap speed. And we've got this old Perona, which is an interesting one, probably lower B, because her negative is pretty damn helpful. And then this is, who's that? Garp, extremely powerful. He's ridiculous against Roger, and his defense reduction is crazy. Now we've got Whitebeard, not as good as Garp, but definitely, like, he's got the potential to go S. SS would be like a bit of a long way for Whitebeard, but I think he can manage. Okay, now we have our second game-breaking unit, even more so than Robin, I'd say. No matter what level your Onigashima Luffy is, when you're facing like a level 100 Roger, and you have a level 1 Onigashima Luffy, you can do 78% of their health, which is insane. He's too broken, and he's got the ridiculous death boost. So then really, his stun isn't very helpful, but he's still a really good unit. So Rebecca is actually pretty garbage, but we're gonna not put her at the bottom because I don't think she's like that bad compared to the rest of the stars. So Reiju isn't B, but she's definitely at the top of C without a doubt. So then there's, oh of course, His Highness Roger. I actually don't think Roger, but Roger is really good actually. He's just completely broken up to the point where he can destroy anybody, but I don't think he's better than Onigashima Luffy. I know it's ridiculously controversial, but come on, like a level 60 Roger would have trouble fighting a level 80, I don't know, any good Bounty Fest unit. Whereas this Onigashima Luffy can meltate any defender, any runner, any attacker, so I had to put him on top, especially with that crazy defense boost. So this old kid is definitely not like A level, so we're gonna put him in B. Ooh, now this Law is an interesting one. Probably in B class because he's not that great, but he's good for the middle. So Akainu is an interesting one. He's older and his skills are slow, so he goes in B. Maybe just above Luffy. Sanji would probably also have to go in B, lower B, I'd say. Because he's just not that great. Skills are slow. He's only got one attacking skill, one offensive skill. Now, Charlotte Karakuri, this version is actually pretty damn good. Nicely strong. He's got quick skills. After the buff, he became so much better. So it's nice. I'm gonna put him above Luffy Taro. Then we've got your boy Sengoku. Probably A. I don't want to put him in S, but I feel like B would be too low for him. Now this old Zoro, he used to be crazy good in the old meta, but now he's probably C level. Smoker is lower C, or actually no, high. lower C. I think high, low, high, low. Then we've got Chambers Smoker. Decent, I guess, but not that good. Against car units, he's okay. Now Snake Man, one of the oldest, no, that's not true. One of the old OG units, yeah, I can say that. Probably not as good as Karakuri, but definitely really strong and good as a runner. Now come to the end of our list, we've got Soga King, easily B material. Probably could make it in A, but I just felt like he was deserving to be in A. Then we've got Luffy, who's in C. Then we've got this Sabo, he's actually not bad, so he goes in B. I'm thinking just a little higher might be better, yeah. Then we've got this Smoker. Smoker would probably be like B, but a bit higher than Green Sabo, I would think. Then we've got this Old Shanks, probably like bottom C, pretty garbage. Now Urguj is a very powerful defender with a really short cooldown time and a skill 1, so I'm gonna have to put him in A easy. So there's VV, who's garbage. So at the last line of our list, we have, who's this? Wano, not that great, old unit, easy to dodge into. So Wano is an interesting one because he's not that bad of a unit, he's just older, and even after the buff he didn't become that great, but he's still very good. So Wapol, imagine playing Wapol. So he's certified garbage, but since it's C, we're gonna have to put him like near the top. Now this Nami is Cola, and so she's pretty damn bad. Now this Wedding Sanji can actually fend for himself. He is pretty damn strong and he can do surprisingly well in this meta. He just needs to stay away from people and just tap. So this guy is probably at the bottom. Who is this? Yasop, yeah. Now Bon Clay is actually very good. He's got crazy heals. His skill 2 is like the repeated kicks, which goes really well with his heals. Now Onigashima Kid is easily S class. He's got pretty damn good heals and really good damage reduction. So Law's also going to come in S, but I think he's just a little bit above because that stop heal is so powerful in some of the two latest units. Waxman, not that great. I'm gonna have to put him in B, I guess, like not that low B. And then there's Miss Golden Week. So she's not that great either. Probably deserves to be in like medium B. She does not go in A, but C is too low for her, I think. So we're gonna put her near Waxman, and this is the list. We finally finished the list. So at the top, Onigashima Luffy, and Roger, and Robin, which is so broken. So thank you guys for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, which took me 23 minutes to make, and I now have a sore voice, please subscribe, share, and like. Peace!